Well, this just landed on my porch. Let's see where this is going. Well, it is well packaged. I'll give it that. Permanent magnet. It was advertised as a 2,000 watt permanent magnet alternator. I don't believe it, but I wanted to see the price was right. Oh, that might be. That's getting better light here. Can you see that? I can't tell if you can see that. Glare on the screen is so bad I can't tell if you can see that or not. That looks like permanent magnets. This is totally a PMA. Stupid alarms. Anyways, it is a PMA. It appears to be internally rectified. I can't really imagine how it would be regulated unless it just cuts off the power. You know, maybe there's some kind of similar to a charge controller that just cuts off the feed and lets us freewheel. But that is totally a PMA, so it doesn't need electromagnets for the field. So my plan with this is, I think I'm going to spin it up. I'm going to get it mounted on my frame. Hopefully this doesn't well, let's just go see. Hopefully that doesn't change things too much, because I just freaking did this. Oh, I think it's gonna work. Yep, it'll just bolt on the outside. Maybe to make it line up with the pulleys. Yeah, I might have to change things a little bit. Maybe just spacers and but that, my belt and tensioner system should work almost exactly the same. Just how it bolts up to here. I might have to fiddle around with a little bit, but so we're gonna try this first the way it comes out of the box. I got a feeling I'm not going to like the internal regulator and rectifier, and I will open it up. Well, I pretty much tell you right now for free that this is my plan. Is eventually this is getting opened up, all of this is getting taken out of it, and I'm just going to take the 3-phase straight out of the stator and run it inside to my heavy duty 300 amp rectifier that has its own built-in heatsink and cooling fan that isn't attached to this, so this won't get nearly the heat buildup that is causing this to fail. She's still working, but as soon as it gets hot, the power output fades on it real fast. You can see the rectifier is inside of there, and this thing has to generate its own magnetic field. This has a permanent magnetic field, so it will be based on RPMs to increase or down, or to control output. So this will be a really fun experiment here. I'm excited to see what this little guy can actually do. It says 2,000. I doubt it, but if it can give me 1,000 somewhat continuous duty, that would be just frickin' mint. So okay, I got some playing around to do. I'm also playing around with lots of other things at the same time, so it might be a little bit, it might even be a different day, who knows. Alright, we're working on the backup generator again. There's the internally regulated, it's a 1-wire fire. It's a 12 SI clone, 24 volt. We got the PMA confirmed she's working. Fortunately, she's gonna line up actually really good. So it fits on the bolt. All I gotta do is stack up some washers on the left side between my bolt that I welded to the frame and the alternator, or I could make another one of those and put one there. I'm just gonna do it the lazy way and stack up some stuff in between there and get her to float. I think yeah, I've got enough playing this guy. I'll be able to pull that down, anchor that for my tensioner, and put her on, and I'm gonna seal coat all these real good. I got them zip tied, and it shouldn't be vibrating because it'll be solid mounted. I am going to reuse this box. I took the bottom out of it. That's going to turn into the top now because it's got 8 years of used motor oil that soaked into it for a weather coating now. And I'm just going to level the ground, set it on the ground, and run it like that. And hopefully the ground will dampen it better than wood did, and that'll take out a lot of the noise. And then I can run fans to it for initial testing phase. I'm going to run it without the box and just run the PMA and see what she can put out continuous duty. It's either going to die today or it's going to work, so we'll find out. That thing still works. I didn't kill it yet, but it's not going to be the long-term solution. She just don't like it, so I'll use that for something else down the road, whatever. It'll go on part shelf. If this doesn't work out for this, it can definitely be a pretty decent little wind turbine PMA. So I don't know. is either going to work out for this or it'll turn into something else. We'll see. We'll see soon. All right, check back in a wee bit. Well, there it is. Mounted on there rock solid. I didn't have to make any adjustments to the tensioner. I did put a bigger wheel, just a little bit bigger, on the engine, probably 1 inch overall larger. I still got good tension. This thing doesn't I don't expect output to be crazy. I'll be happy to get 800 watts steady out of it. And I know it's not going to load down the engine anything close to what the other alternators were. Being a PMA, it should, you know, whatever, be relatively easy on the engine. So the bigger pulley won't be a big deal. And I should be able to, you know, I shouldn't have to throttle it up really a whole lot. I'm thinking like 1/4 to 1/2 throttle will get me the output I want out of it. I don't want to overspin it and grenade it right off the bat. I'm going to see what it does there and just leave it be and see if it will put out relatively continuous duty or if the stator is going to get really hot and it start to burn itself up. I don't know. It was cheap enough that if it doesn't work out for this application, I know it'd make a great little wind turbine with relatively little work. I could basically take like any Thermodyne kit or even a stupid Missouri kit and turn this into a turbine. So I don't know, we'll see. I'm just waiting for my weather coat to dry up. I'll probably put a second coat on it. And then I got my wires pulled and everything ready to just plug in and start. She's ready to rip pretty much. I'm just giving this a little bit more time. I don't want that, there shouldn't be a lot of vibration, but just in case, I don't want to vibrate my wires to death. So, stay tuned. Alrighty, there she is. Sun's going down. Battery's got a real good equalize today. So I don't really need to run this right now. But for testing purposes, I am going to waste a little bit of gas. I'm not going to run a full tank through it. I put about a 1/4 tank in it. It is set at about 1/4 to 1/3 throttle. And we're just going to start it, see what it's putting out. And I'm just going to leave it right there. I don't want to... the bearings have had very little use. I'm going to let the bearings wear themselves in. I want to monitor this for, you know, see how warm it's getting and keep a good, you know, make sure the belt's not slipping. Just make sure everything's working good. Keep an eye on the rectifier. Make sure that's not heating up. I doubt that'll be a problem, but I don't have the fan wired up right now, so let's fire it up, see what she's doing. Oh, oh, come on. Okay. I'll go straight down, see what she's putting out, and then I'm going to keep an eye on her. Oh, wow. Alright. 23 amps. 600 watts, 23 amps. See, that's going down already. I'm sure it's warming up. Maybe I'll throttle it down a little bit. And alright, I'm gonna keep an eye on it, so we'll check back and report. Yeah, this is probably heating up fast. That's probably more than this wants to do. This is probably like a 500 watt, 20 amp kind of deal. So, it says 2,000 watts on the sticker. I'm thinking not. So, okay, we'll check back in a little bit. Alright, PMA's running. I ran a couple gallons through it so far. Well, I ran a full gallon through it yesterday, and then I did just like a quarter gallon test the first day I got her all going. She holds at this throttle point, she holds a steady 520 to 550 watts, basically like 19.5, 20 amps the whole time. And it, you know, it gets warm to the touch, you know, a little bit hot to the touch, but it never got so hot that it like smelled, or you know, it never worried me at all. The wires never warmed up. The belt is holding up perfect. The tensioner is working perfect. So I hooked up the throttle cable so I can control throttle from the inside, monitor output. Let's go see what this $28, well, 60 was shipping. The shipping was just as much as the darn PMA. They find a way to bundle that in there, and because you can find it for 60 bucks from other sellers. So, and then they say free shipping. Oh, you end up paying 60 bucks for it either way. All right, I got throttle control up there. Like I said, about 19, 20 watts or amps. I forget which way. It should go up. Alright, so that's throttling down. I really can't throttle it much lower. Let's crank it up just real slowly and see what it can do. Oh. Okay. Come on. Hold on. Oh, that cable is stuck. Okay. Okay. Let's try this again. I have range of motion and the throttle. We'll go down. It's about as low as she wants to run. .45, 23 amps. That's cool, man. I was honestly happy with the 550 at 20 amps. I'm gonna dial her back for just about 20 amps on the nuts. I was surprised how steady that was. At this lower throttle point, the gas goes a lot longer, so in a full tank it ran for, geez, probably 3 hours. That was real steady. I'm still dialing her down. It's responding a little bit to every movement. Okay. Back up just a tiny bit. Right there. Just gonna leave it. 560 watts, 20 amps. That's freaking sweet. You know, that's a 1.1 amp into every single battery. that's enough to float them, and it will charge them. You know, it's a trickle charge in these big old batteries, yes. But with the inverter power down, you know, if I needed to charge, I could power down the inverter and run the backup generator and the battery charger and this, and I'd be charging batteries. Like, I'm in pretty darn good shape already. Still a little bit of power coming in from solar, not much. We made 9 kilowatt hours, so very cool. For a $28 PMA, you know, 60 bucks, whatever. It's 60 bucks. I'm freaking tickled pink. I'm getting a steady, consistent output, and that's like, man, you know, continuous duty. It's not a powerhouse or nothing, but it's doing it. Just running her and I'm using my rectifier, externally rectifying it. You know, this thing is never gonna overheat. This thing handled, you know, 150 amps, almost 200 out of that dual core. So this thing can take some jam. It's appearing that cheap little Amazon PMA might just be sticking around. You know, I don't have any good reason. I can't justify replacing it with something more expensive and bigger, because honestly, this does what I need it to do. We don't run low enough to need a powerhouse anymore. I'm pretty impressed. Maybe I'll, you know, for the price, I'll probably order 2 more of them and just throw them on a shelf. Maybe I'll turn one into a wind turbine. That can be a fun little project. And another one will just be a freaking backup, because it seems like shit always dies at, you know, the worst times. It'll probably make it until February and puke on me when I actually need it. So I think I'm gonna get 2 backups, and I guess that's a wrap. I like it a lot. Thanks for watching. God bless you.